like if it had happened to Thomas Edison, that would probably be the first thing that would say in his Wikipedia entry. It'd be all Thomas Edison, who pooped out his own colon, made a variety of inventions and changed the way we live today. Did we mention he pooped out his own colon? Because he totally did. Thomas Edison pooped out his own colon. Honestly, we can't stress this enough. It was about this time that I decided I needed to take action, so I found some Pepto-Bismol and took a full dose. I considered taking more, but at this point I was concerned I might have to call 911 for help. And I didn't want to have to explain why I had taken 3 times the recommended amount of laxatives and 3 times the recommended amount of anti-diarrhea medicine, because even to me that sounded like some sort of poorly planned suicide attempt. Taking just 1 dose of the anti-diarrheal seemed somewhat rational comparatively. Surely, I thought to myself, this will make me seem much more credible and less likely to be put on suicide watch. Of course, the Pepto-Bismol was no match for the raw power of the X-Lax, and was much like wearing shin guards in the middle of a tornado. Except even less effective, because at least with shin guards, when they found your body later, you could still wear a skirt in your coffin unless your legs got ripped off entirely, which can totally happen. But the Pepto-Bismol didn't do anything at all except turn my tongue black. Interesting side note here. When I wrote this, I thought that everybody, when they ate Pepto-Bismol, it turned their tongue black. Turns out it's just like 1 in 6 people. And so basically 5/6 of the people reading this book are like, what the fuck is she talking about? And the other 1/6 are like, yeah! I thought it was just me. Nope, not just you. And the reason why I know this is because Pepto-Bismol contacted me. They were not pleased. That's good advertising. I didn't know that. It crossed my mind that maybe eating a bunch of cheese might help. Because I once went to school with a girl who ate too much cheese and got so constipated she had to go to the hospital to get the poop removed by a doctor. And after I heard that, I could never quite look at her in the same way again, and I often wondered whether she got to keep the poop that they removed, like when you get to keep your tonsils. And then I remembered that I didn't even have any cheese in the house, and that even if I did, it wouldn't matter because I couldn't leave the toilet long enough to get it. And that's when I heard the noise at the bathroom door. It sounded like someone leaning against the door and tapping it lightly with his knuckles. And I was all, oh my God, I didn't lock the bathroom door. And then I thought, wait, why would I even need to lock the bathroom door since I'm the only one home? My initial thought was that it was a murderer or a rapist, which was quickly followed up by the thought that if it was a rapist, he was going to be terribly disappointed. I heard the possible rapist again, and so I coughed because I thought it might be a burglar who just didn't realize that I was at home. I hoped that the coughing might give him some sort of a hint that he needed to leave, although technically the other noises coming from the bathroom were probably much more intimidating than the coughing. But I was trying to be polite because I'm a lady. And then someone slid a note under the door. And I just stared at it because seriously, what the fuck? It was so baffling I couldn't even get scared. I tried to slide my foot over so I could reach the note, which was a small white slip of paper, but I couldn't reach it. And so I just yelled weakly, hello? Did you just pass me a note? But no one answered. And then I started to get freaked out, and I silently thanked God that I thought to bring the phone into the bathroom just in case I needed to call to report the laxative overdose. I picked up the phone to call the police, and then considered how it would sound when I told them I was calling from inside my bathroom, where I had OD'd on laxatives, and that a possible rapist was quietly passing me notes under the bathroom door. And then I thought it would be really weird if the note said something like, do you like me, circle yes or no? And I probably would have laughed too if it wasn't for the whole laxative rapist combo bearing down on me. And then another note came slowly peeking from under the door, and I realized this one wasn't a note at all. It was actually the wrapper from a Band-Aid. And that's when I realized I was probably dealing with a psychopath, because why the fuck would anybody pass me a Band-Aid wrapper unless they were completely insane? So I yelled, I'm calling the police, and I have diarrhea! Because I thought that would discourage a rapist. I love yelling that in a bookstore. I never thought I could yell that. It's awesome. And then it got really quiet, and suddenly the Band-Aid wrapper was violently pulled back from under the door, and I was like, what the hell? And then it was shot back into the bathroom door again, and this time I could see that it was being pushed under the door by a fucking cat paw. That's when I realized that the cat had knocked my purse over and was just shoving the seats and assorted purse flotsam under the door. That I murdered my cat, but only in my mind. It occurred to me I should write this all down, but I didn't have anything to write on except for the paper that the cat had pushed under the door, and so I yelled, "Posey! Push the paper further!" But he didn't, because he's an asshole. And also he's a cat, so he doesn't speak English. So instead, I wrote this on toilet paper with lipstick, but just the keywords and not the whole thing, because that would be crazy. And then I said a little prayer, thanking God for saving me from being assaulted, and also for not making me have to explain to the ambulance drivers that I had accidentally mistaken my cat for a rapist after purposely overdosing on laxatives in order to make my antidepressants work better. Mainly because that's the kind of story that gets told over and over again to the new ambulance crew recruits. But then I remembered that girl from high school who had to have the poop bubble removed, and so I thought maybe in comparison my story wasn't so weird after all. Except when Victor came home, I told him about it, because how could you not share that story? And he got all testy about the laxatives and implied that I, quote, couldn't be trusted in the house unsupervised. And I'm all, glass half full, asshole, I didn't get raped, right? And he shouted back, "You were never in danger of being raped," but I think he just said that to hurt my feelings. And so I retorted, "Oh, I am always in danger of being raped, thank you very much." And he was all, "I'm not questioning your rapeability. I'm saying that you can't go away for 2 days without you ODing on laxatives." And that's when I made a mental note that from now on I would never tell him about ODing on anything. And also that I should probably make friends with ambulance drivers, because I bet they have some pretty kick-ass stories.